The year was 2010. It was a year that would be remembered for many reasons, but one event in particular would leave an indelible mark on the world. Spring had arrived in Iceland. The landscape was coming to life with blooming flowers and the promise of warmer days ahead. Beneath the icy cap of the Eyjafjallajökull glacier, a volcano stirred. This was not the first time it had shown signs of activity, but this time it was different. On March 20th, it erupted. The initial eruption was powerful, sending ash and smoke into the sky, but it was only a precursor to what was to come. This was just the beginning. The volcano continued to rumble and spew ash, creating an eerie calm before the next, more devastating eruption. Weeks later, a second, more powerful eruption began. This time, the force of the eruption was much greater, and the consequences would be felt far and wide. This time, the volcano ejected a massive plume of ash into the atmosphere. The ash cloud was so large that it could be seen from space. This ash cloud would have a profound impact on the world, bringing air travel to a standstill. Airports across Europe were forced to close and thousands of flights were cancelled. The eruption of Eyjafjallajökull was a stark reminder of nature's power. It showed us how small and vulnerable we are in the face of such immense natural forces. It was a wake-up call for the aviation industry. The disruption caused by the ash cloud highlighted the need for better preparedness and response strategies. The world watched as the ash cloud spread across Europe. News outlets provided constant updates, and people everywhere were glued to their screens, watching the drama unfold. Thousands of flights were cancelled. The impact on travel was immediate and widespread, affecting millions of passengers. Millions of passengers were stranded. Airports became makeshift shelters as people waited for the skies to clear and flights to resume. The economic impact was enormous. Businesses suffered, and the financial losses were staggering, affecting industries far beyond aviation. This eruption was a defining moment. It changed the way we think about natural disasters and their potential to disrupt our lives. It forced us to confront the vulnerability of air travel to natural disasters. The reliance on clear skies and safe conditions became glaringly apparent. It also highlighted the importance of international cooperation in managing these crises. Countries had to work together to navigate the challenges posed by the eruption. The world had to adapt. New safety measures and protocols were developed to better handle such disruptions in the future. We needed to find new ways to ensure the safety and efficiency of air travel in a world where volcanic eruptions could ground flights without warning. The lessons learned from Eyjafjallajökull continue to shape the aviation industry today. Volcanic ash is not like the ash from a fireplace. It is a fine abrasive powder made of pulverized rock and glass. When this ash enters a plane's engine, it can cause catastrophic damage. The high temperatures inside a jet engine melt the ash particles. This molten ash then solidifies on the cooler engine components. This disrupts airflow and can cause the engine to stall or fail. The abrasive ash also damages the plane's exterior and critical navigation instruments. Pilots cannot easily see volcanic ash clouds. The ash can be difficult to distinguish from regular clouds on radar. This makes flying through an ash cloud incredibly dangerous. The ash cloud from Eyjafjallajökull spread rapidly across Europe. It caused the largest air traffic shutdown since World War II. For days, the skies over Europe were eerily quiet. Planes sat idle on the tarmac. Airports became temporary homes for stranded passengers. The economic impact of the shutdown was staggering. Airlines lost billions of dollars in revenue. Businesses reliant on air travel faced significant disruptions. The tourism industry was hit particularly hard. The eruption had a ripple effect across the globe. It disrupted supply chains, delayed shipments, and impacted global trade. The crisis highlighted the interconnectedness of our world and the vital role air travel plays in our globalized society. The 2010 eruption exposed a critical weakness in how we managed aviation risks related to volcanic ash. The event highlighted the gaps in our communication systems and the urgent need for improvement. Information about the ash cloud was fragmented, scattered across various sources and often outdated by the time it reached decision makers. Communication between countries and within the aviation industry was inadequate. Different regions had different protocols, leading to confusion and delays. This lack of clear, consistent information exacerbated the crisis. Airports were overwhelmed, and passengers were left stranded with little to no information. Airlines were often left to make decisions based on limited data. This uncertainty led to flight cancellations and rerouting, causing significant disruptions. Governments struggled to coordinate responses. The lack of a unified approach made it difficult to manage the situation effectively. Passengers were left in the dark, unsure of when or if they would reach their destinations. The uncertainty added to their frustration and anxiety. The experience was chaotic and stressful for everyone involved. The lack of timely and accurate information made a difficult situation even worse. The need for better communication was clear. The aviation industry recognized that a more coordinated approach was essential to handle such crises in the future. The aviation industry needed a more coordinated and effective system to monitor volcanic activity. This included real-time data sharing and better predictive models. They needed to assess the risks posed by ash clouds and communicate this information clearly to all stakeholders. Only through improved communication and coordination could the industry hope to mitigate the impact of such natural disasters in the future. Monitoring volcanic activity. Volcanoes are unpredictable giants. To mitigate the risks they pose to aviation, we need to keep a watchful eye on them. Scientists use a variety of tools to monitor volcanoes around the world. These tools help us understand when and where an eruption might occur. Seismographs detect earthquakes, which often precede eruptions. GPS instruments measure the subtle swelling of the ground that can indicate magma rising within a volcano. Gas sensors detect changes in volcanic gas emissions, signaling shifts in volcanic activity. Scientists also use satellites to monitor volcanic activity. Satellites provide a global perspective, allowing us to track ash clouds in real time and provide early warnings of eruptions. The role of volcanic ash advisory centers. In response to the 2010 eruption, the importance of volcanic ash advisory centers, or VAACs, became crystal clear. The eruption caused massive disruptions in air travel across Europe, grounding thousands of flights and stranding millions of passengers. This event highlighted the need for accurate and timely information about volcanic ash clouds. VAACs are responsible for monitoring volcanic eruptions and forecasting the movement of volcanic ash clouds. They use a combination of ground-based sensors, satellite data, and atmospheric models to track and predict the behavior of ash clouds. They play a crucial role in keeping air travel safe. By providing accurate forecasts, VAACs help prevent aircraft from flying into dangerous ash clouds, which can cause engine failure and other serious issues. When a volcano erupts, VAACs spring into action. They quickly gather data and begin analyzing it to predict the ash cloud's path and concentration. They analyze data from ground-based sensors, satellite observations, and atmospheric models to predict the path and concentration of the ash cloud. This information is crucial for making informed decisions about air travel and public safety. This information is then relayed to airlines, air traffic control, and other stakeholders. Timely and accurate communication ensures that everyone involved can take the necessary precautions. VAACs provide critical decision support tools for the aviation industry. Their forecasts help airlines plan safe routes, minimize disruptions, and keep passengers informed about potential delays or cancellations. Their forecasts help airlines plan safe routes, minimize disruptions, and keep passengers informed. By doing so, VAACs play an essential role in maintaining the safety and efficiency of global air travel, ensuring that passengers reach their destinations safely and on time. New procedures for a safer flight path. The 2010 eruption forced the aviation industry to re-evaluate its procedures for dealing with volcanic ash. New guidelines and regulations were introduced to improve safety and minimize disruptions in the future. Airlines implemented more stringent protocols for avoiding ash clouds. Air traffic control procedures were updated to better manage airspace affected by volcanic ash. New technologies were developed to detect ash clouds more effectively and assess their density. These changes reflect a fundamental shift in how we approach aviation safety in the context of volcanic ash. The focus has shifted from simply reacting to eruptions to actively anticipating and mitigating their impact. A turning point for aviation safety. The eruption of Eyjafjallajökull was a watershed moment for aviation safety. It exposed vulnerabilities, highlighted the need for better communication, and spurred significant changes in how we manage the risks posed by volcanic ash. The legacy of Eyjafjallajökull is a safer, more resilient aviation system. We now have better monitoring, more accurate forecasting, and more effective communication channels. The lessons learned from this eruption have made air travel safer for everyone. Living with the giant. Volcanoes are a fact of life on Earth. They are powerful forces of nature that can disrupt our lives in profound ways, but they're also a source of wonder and beauty. We cannot control volcanoes, but we can learn to live with them. By understanding their behavior, respecting their power, and adapting our technologies and systems, we can mitigate the risks they pose and continue to enjoy the benefits of air travel. The eruption of Eyjafjallajökull was a stark reminder of the challenges and rewards of living in a world shaped by these magnificent giants. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel for more insightful and engaging educational content.